Once upon a time, in a peaceful village surrounded by green hills and golden fields, there lived a hard-working farmer named Samir. From sunrise to sunset, Samir worked on his land, plowing, planting, watering, harvesting. He gave his best every single day. But despite all his effort, Samir often felt something was missing. No matter how much he worked, his days felt unproductive. At night, he lay awake wondering, why doesn't anything ever change? Why does life still feel so empty? One day, weary and disheartened, Samir decided to visit the wisest man in the village, Guru Ramesh. Samir bowed respectfully and said, "Guruji, I work hard every day, but I still feel stuck. My life isn't improving. I want my days to be better, to feel meaningful. What am I doing wrong?" Guru Ramesh smiled gently. "Ah, my son," he said, "let me tell you a story. It might just change your perspective." He leaned forward and began. The story of Ranveer the farmer. "Long ago," said the guru, "there lived a farmer named Ranveer. Just like you, he worked tirelessly from morning to night, but no matter what he did, he felt trapped in the same routine, exhausted yet unfulfilled. One day, an old traveler stopped by Ranveer's farm. The traveler watched him work and asked, "Why do you look so troubled?" Ranveer sighed. "I do everything I can, but I feel like I'm getting nowhere. My days feel empty." The traveler smiled and gave him 3 golden rules. "Follow these every day," he said, "and your life will begin to change. Rule 1, start each day with gratitude. Rule 2, do 1 act of kindness daily. Rule 3, learn something new every day." Ranveer was curious. The next morning, he decided to try. He stood beneath the morning sun and gave thanks for the soil beneath his feet, for his loving family, and for the fresh air filling his lungs. That simple moment of gratitude filled his heart with peace. Later, he noticed an elderly neighbor struggling to carry water. Ranveer rushed to help. The neighbor smiled and thanked him, and for the first time in a long while, Ranveer felt a warm sense of purpose. Before bed, he read a few pages of a book about farming techniques. The information was simple, but helpful, and so he continued, every day, showing gratitude, offering kindness, and learning something new. In time, he noticed changes. His crops began to grow better. He discovered new ways to market his produce. His neighbors respected him more. He smiled more, laughed more, lived more. Ranveer's life transformed, not because the world changed, but because he did. Guru Ramesh looked at Samir and said, "My son, the secret to a better life lies not in waiting for big things to happen, but in making small, meaningful changes every day. Be grateful, be kind, keep learning. That is the way to transform your days." Samir listened closely. The story stirred something deep in his heart. He returned to his farm and began applying the 3 golden rules. Each morning he woke up and gave thanks for the rain, for the sunshine, for his hands that could work the land. He helped others without expecting anything in return, mending fences, sharing seeds, smiling at strangers. And every evening he spent a little time learning about soil health, planting techniques, even business skills. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months, and slowly everything began to change. His crops were healthier, his farm more prosperous. But more importantly, Samir felt fulfilled. His days no longer felt wasted. He was finally at peace. Years later, Samir became one of the most respected and happiest farmers in the village. When people asked him, "What's your secret?" he simply smiled and said, "A better life is built from better days. Start small, be consistent, and one day you'll realize you've created something beautiful." The moral of the story: happiness and success don't come all at once. They come from small, meaningful steps taken every day. Begin with gratitude. Spread kindness. Never stop learning. That's how you make every day better.